Well, hello everybody. It's Jazzy Chef John. I'm back to give you all a new recipe for today. Today, our new recipe is going to be homemade shrimp fried rice. So let's get started. First of all, let's get our ingredients together. So I've already pre-measured everything to make it easier on us. So let's just scan down a little bit. So we have 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, 2 tablespoons of sesame oil, which sesame oil is used quite a bit in Oriental cooking. And then we have a couple of cups of broccoli, fresh broccoli. We have 3 stalks of carrots that I've cleaned and shaved and diced up. And we have a cup of frozen green peas. And then we have about 3 stalks of green onions. And we have 2 tablespoons of garlic, ground up garlic, minced garlic, I should say. And then we have a half a teaspoon of ginger. And we have 2 eggs, which is going to be scrambled in this. And of course, the star of the show is I have a pound of shrimp. These are jumbo shrimp, already cleaned, peeled, and deveined. And then I have 2 cups of rice. You could use white rice or brown rice, whatever rice you would like to use. So, okay, let's get started. Okay, so we put in our 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. And then we put in our 2 tablespoons of sesame oil. Sesame oil is used quite a bit in Chinese food, Oriental food, I should say. That's where you get that great flavor from. I'm going to turn my stove up a little bit more on 7. Of course, I have an electric stove. So we let the oil get pretty warm. I already had my stove preheating. So once we get that started, let's get a little bit hotter here. So I hope everybody's been enjoying their time at home or whatever's going on through the coronavirus. And we're just going to sit back. I'm listening to my jazz once again. That's how I relax and cook. Okay, so let's get started. I think the oil is good enough. I see a little smoke. Okay, so we pour our pound of shrimp in. Okay. And we let them cook about 3 to 4 minutes. Kind of turn them over. Let them get a little pink. You don't want them to overcook. Plus, they're going to be cooking again towards the end when we mix everything together. So like I said, about 3 to 4 minutes, you see them starting to turn pink. And anytime you cook shrimp, you know once they turn pink, that they're starting to get done. So, because you do not want them to get rubbery. Because if you cook them too long, they start to get kind of rubbery. So, okay, let's check back in with our shrimp. We're going to just flip them over a little bit. So it's starting to get to be fall time, and it's actually starting to get to be the holiday season. So in the next couple of videos, I'm going to be helping you out with some Thanksgiving dishes, such as macaroni and cheese, some dressing, how to make sure your turkey is properly cleaned, maybe greens, some peach cobblers. We're going to have a ball. I'm going to make sure by the end of this season, you're going to be a great cook. You're probably already a great cook. I'm going to just try to help you learn a few new items to add to your repertoire. Okay, see, they're almost ready. They turn a nice pink. They're soaking in that good sesame flavor. The good sesame oil flavor. Okay, so they're looking really good here. And with the rice, when I get to the rice, I'm going to show you something. You want to make sure you try to cook your rice earlier that day. Hopefully when you plan this meal, that you're planning early enough in the day that you can actually cook your rice and put it in the refrigerator, because it's more advantageous to you because your rice gets a little firmer. So that way you don't have to worry about it sticking. So okay, at this point, the shrimp are ready and pink. I'm going to put them in my casserole dish. Set them to the side. So like I said, we're going to be cooking them a little bit more. So let's get them all in the casserole dish. About what I was saying about the shrimp, that it gets firmer, so it has less likely to stick. It actually will separate better. And then also it will not get mushy. You don't have to worry about it getting mushy. I'm actually going to change my utensils here and use a slotted spoon so that you can leave that oil in the skillet, because now, okay, got a couple more to go. This is going to be so good. You're going to be so proud of yourself. Okay, so now it's time to put in our vegetables. So that's the carrots. And also with the peas and the carrots, if you want to cheat a little bit, you can also just buy the peas and carrots frozen already. And in this particular fried rice, I'm going to add fresh broccoli. That's not the tradition, but you can also just add whatever you like. You can add corn, you can add mushrooms, you can add water chestnuts, whatever you would like. So now we're going to stir them around a little bit. Get some of that good old oil on everything. Okay. And get them all mixed up together. And if it seems like you need a little more oil, you can always just throw a little more sesame oil on it. It won't hurt the thing. But I wanted just a little bit more oil. It just gives it more flavor. This is sesame oil. Toasted sesame oil. And at this point in time, we're going to sprinkle maybe a couple teaspoons of salt and pepper. I use kosher coarse salt. It goes a little farther, it has a little more flavor, and you have to use less. And then I'm going to sprinkle some pepper on it. So we're going to just stir that up for a little while. And then also I'm going to add the fresh garlic so they can start to cook in there, give that extra garlicky flavor. And then we're going to put our half a teaspoon of ginger. You know, Oriental food is not good without ginger. And ginger is also very good for you. So then we're going to start to stir this around a little bit. Give all that nice flavor. So we're going to cook the vegetables probably for about 5 minutes or until they're soft. You don't want to have crunchy vegetables. So let's get them all mixed up a little bit better here. And just kind of just keep stirring this for about 5 minutes. Or like I said, until they're soft. You can kind of taste the carrots. That's usually the most firmest thing on here. So like I said, also you can buy the frozen peas and carrots. It'll probably cook a little faster, but you know, freshness is important. I try to use fresh as much as I can. So, okay, we're gonna let that just continue to stir fry. Okay, so now the vegetables are just about ready. Okay, they're tender. We've stirred them for about 5 minutes. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm actually turn my stove down just a little bit, and we're gonna add the eggs. I'm gonna use scrambled eggs. So just scramble them up real quick. As you can see me scrambling my eggs. And you're gonna take all your vegetables and move them to one side of the skillet. Okay. So then we're gonna just pour the egg right on in that skillet. Scramble it up real good. You know, this is authentic Chinese food when you see the eggs in it. A lot of the restaurants don't use eggs anymore. So see, I'm just scrambling it up real nice. Okay, so now we're going to just mix all that back in there together. Okay, so now we got our scrambled eggs in there. Boy, I wish you all had smell-o-vision because this smells so good. Okay, so now all that's done and incorporated. Everything's incorporated. Everything is nice and tender. So now we're going to add in the rice. Like I said, this is 2 cups of rice. So once you know, 2 cups of rice makes 4 servings. So we're going to just break that up in there, start to stir that around. And at this time, you're going to put in your 3 to 4 tablespoons of soy sauce. That's where it gets that nice rich brown color, some of the flavor. You can use low sodium if you like. Okay, so you're gonna get that all stirred in there real good. Okay, and just like you see at the Chinese food place, sometimes you see them squirt a little more oil in there, so I'm gonna squirt just a little bit more oil, just to make sure it stays nice and smooth. All right, there we go. Now. Okay, you see how nice and easy that rice breaks up and separates, and distributes through the dish. Okay, so now that is looking beautiful, just magnificent, and I just wish you could smell this. Wow. Okay, so now I'm going to add my shrimp. And this is my 1 pounder jumbo shrimp, slightly cooked. Cooked to perfection. Alrighty, we're going to stir them in. Make sure they're distributed pretty nice. You can add more shrimp. You can put smaller shrimp, larger shrimp. Like I said, these are the jumbo shrimp. You can use the colossal shrimp. You can use regular size shrimp. That's totally up to you. You can even add some crab meat if you want to. Lobster, whatever you want. So then we finished it all off with the green onions. That makes that flavor pop. If you want to add a little more soy sauce, you can. Okay, this dish is just about ready. I'm gonna add just a little bit more soy sauce, because I like it, soy sauce. But like I said, that's up to you. You don't have to use the eggs if you don't want to. That's totally up to you also. That's an option. You know, normally you see the eggs in the fried rice. That's more authentic. I don't care a lot for eggs, but my wife loves them, so she's gonna be eating this. So we're almost there. Okay, so I'm gonna turn this down for a few minutes and let those shrimp kind of heat up. All right. So now, let me clean my counter off a little bit here. While that's warming up, I'm gonna bring my casserole dish back over here, the one that I had the shrimp sitting in. Okay, so now we are about ready. That is looking wonderful. Got that nice ginger in it. You can actually, if you can find some diced ginger, or you can buy some ginger and crush it yourself, but just the powdered ginger is fine. Okay. Make sure you can see that really well. Okay, let me get me a pot holder. So there you go. Can you smell it? Can you see it? All right. So that's basically done. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to just put it back in my casserole dish. Or you can put it in a large bowl for serving. So there, voila. This is kind of heavy, so be careful. You can make smaller amounts. You can make smaller amounts if you like to. You know, if it's maybe just for a couple people. This is really heavy. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna do it like this instead. There we go. Okay. Then we have to learn to work smarter, not harder. Oh, that's just so good. Look at those succulent shrimp. This is just wonderful. Nice fresh carrots. The peas, the broccoli. Like I said, you can add other things in it, like water chestnuts. Those are really good in it. Just get your can of water chestnuts and toss it right in. Okay. Okay. Okay, so here we go. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Darn it. So here we go. Homemade shrimp fried rice. So everyone, it's so good to be with you again. This is Jazzy Chef John, waiting to the next episode of our show to come up with a nice new dish, especially for the holidays. So everyone have a great one, and thank you so much.